So students, there while we change an active voice from passive voice, there are changes in tenses. Okay, we work according to the tense. So over here I'll be giving you 3 rules on the basic level of what happens when, say, in active voice, if you have S simple present tense, in active voice you have, what is the rule of simple present tense? A verb with S or ES or the first form of verb. Okay, it comes under active voice. Okay, but what happens when we have to change that sentence into passive voice, that simple present tense into passive voice? In that case, you'll add in is and are, okay, and the taken form of verb. Okay, and next you have to learn this rule. Okay, and what happens if you have a sentence in active voice which is in simple past? Okay, so took, if the sentence in active voice you have the verb took, then it would change into was taken or were taken. Okay, take, took, taken, that is the third form of verb. Okay, and when it comes to simple future tense and in active voice, if you have will take or shall take, in passive voice it would change into will be taken and shall be taken. सिंपल प्रेजेंट, सिंपल पास्ट और सिंपल फ्यूचर में जब भी आप एक्टिव वॉइस से पैसिव वॉइस में चेंज करेंगे, इन दैट केस वर्ब का फॉर्म चेंज होके वर्ब का थर्ड फॉर्म लगेगा. ओके, जैसे हर जगह आपने देखा होगा, जैसे सिंपल फ्यूचर में देखिए व्हाट हैपेंड, विल टेक एंड शैल टेक चेंज इनटू विल बी टेकन, शैल बी टेकन. ओके, व्हाट हैपेंड इन सिंपल पास्ट, टुक जो हमारा सिंपल पास्ट टेंस में था वो भी चेंज हो गया वर्ब का थर्ड फॉर्म में, दैट इज वॉज टेकन और वर टेकन. ठीक है, वॉज वर कब यूज करते हैं, सिंगुलर या प्लूरल केस में. और जब सिंपल प्रेजेंट में हमारे पास ये रहता है, दैट मीन्स एक्टिव वॉइस हमारा टेक या टेक्स, दैट इज फर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब और एस और ई एस फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब. इन दैट केस इज एम आर लग जाता है, अगेन वर्ब का थर्ड फॉर्म. Okay, this is how the change takes place when it comes to simple present, simple past and simple future. Now, come to change of voice. When we change the active voice into passive, the sentence undergoes two major changes which we have already discussed in the above examples. We'll read it again. The subject goes into predicate. The subject goes into predicate and the verb undergoes the change. Okay, ये दोनों चीजें हम देख चुके हैं, that subject goes into predicate's place or the object place. Okay, and there is a change in the form of verb. See, for example, over here, the old lady spoke to the beggar. This is an active voice. This old lady, the subject went into predicate's place in passive voice. जी यहाँ पे predicate में था वो subject बन गया. And spoke वाला जो verb है ये हमारा simple past tense है. change किस में हो गया, was spoken. that means passive voice में जाके was were taken वाला जो example दिया था same इधर was spoken. So spoken is the V3 form of verb and we have added in the word by. जब किसी के द्वारा काम किया जाता है and it is placed in the predicate part, that doer is placed in the predicate part, we use by. In the second sentence, the subject, the old lady, is shifted to predicate and the verb spoke is changed to was spoken. Okay, this is how the changes takes place when active voice change into passive voice. So here is a set of instructions for using a thermometer to measure the body temperature. Sonia, a nurse, followed these instructions and reported what she did to the doctor. Help her to complete her report. So, यहाँ पे you can see that all the sentences given over here are in active voice. You have to change them into passive voice. Okay? So, the first sentence is, the nurse should take a thermometer and wash it in fresh and cold water. So over here you can see the blanks. The first one कैसे change हुआ? The nurse, यहाँ पे जो the nurse था वो यहाँ पे by me हो गया. क्यों? क्योंकि nurse ये बता रही कि मैंने क्या क्या किया आपके instructions के according. So that is why it would be said by me. क्योंकि मैं nurse हूँ, मैंने क्या क्या instructions follow किए, मैंने क्या क्या procedure follow किया. I'll mention myself as me over here. So the nurse went into predicate over here. Okay, and see, the thermometer was taken and तो देखो यहाँ पे जो take था हमारा verb has changed into was taken. Okay, and wash changed into washed. Okay, this is how you have to work. Now come to the second. She should shake it to bring the mercury to level of 96.4 degrees Fahrenheit. What happened? She over here in this sentence became the predicate over here. Okay, अब shake जो verb है, this is in simple present tense. Okay, क्या change आ जाएगा? Was shaken. आंसर क्या हो जाएगा हमारा फिर इसमें? Was shaken. We'll write was shaken over here. Present tense में क्या होता है? जो भी फॉर्म रहता है वो पैसिव में जाके was, were और verb का थर्ड फॉर्म यूज होता है. Come to C. She put the thermometer into the mouth of the patient under his tongue. So put का फॉर्म कैसे चेंज हो जाएगा? Put was put. Okay, put का कोई फॉर्म चेंज नहीं होता है. Put हमेशा put रहता है in every form, whether it is V1, V2 or V3. It never changes its form. So what was put? अपन बोलते हैं ना putted. Putted is wrong word. Okay, so put was put. Next D. Then she should keep it for me or for 1 or 2 minutes. So keep would change into was kept. Over here it would change into was kept. Keep, kept, kept. Okay, ये V3 form होता है. And rest, I would suggest that only 2 blanks are remaining, 2 sentences are remaining over here. This is to be solved by you by your own. So over here we can point out the difference between the 2 sets of sentences. Okay, that is the first set in the sentence is active and the second set is in the passive. Okay, so read in the box. Let us revise how we form the passive voice. We did so by bringing the word thermometer, which was in the predicate, into the subject of the sentence, and the subject of the sentence, the nurse, was placed in the predicate, and there was a change made in the verb tense. Also note that it is not always necessary to write by her. Sometimes when it is obvious, you may omit the words by dash. That means 3 changes हुए. Subject active voice में जो हमारा subject है, that went into predicate, and the predicate in active sentence which we have in predicate, what came into subject in passive voice, and there was a change of verb, wherein if it was simple, in simple tense it changed into was verb with V3 form of verb, and we added up with the word by. Okay, these were the changes. And what happens that it is not always necessary कि by her हम लगाए when it is already understood कि ये action परफॉर्म किसी पर्सन के थ्रू ही हो रहा है when it comes in the way of a paragraph. Okay, so now let us come to exercise number 3. Keep these points in mind while changing the following sentences from active to passive voice. One has been done for you. Now we have to work on with the changing of active to passive voice. So you can see the first one. She told us a story. So over here, she जो है, this is the subject, this is active voice. Okay, the sentence is in active voice. So जो she है over here became the predicate. Story. Okay, she told us. So us यहाँ पे हमारा subject बन गया. Okay, and what is the sentence now? Told, were told में change हो गया. That is simple past tense वाला rule. Okay, so we were told a story by her. Come to the next sentence. This shelf contains books. So over here you can have two sentences, two kinds of you can say passive sentences. It can be like books are kept in this shelf, or books are contained in this shelf. Come to the third one. The lawyer examined the documents. अब ये lawyer जो है हमारा predicate बन जाएगा. So the lawyer examined the documents क्या हो जाएगा हमारा? The documents were examined by the lawyer. We'll go in reverse. Okay, come to the next. The children played cricket. This is an active voice changing to passive. So cricket was played by the children. Next, the gardener planted the roses. So the roses were planted by the gardener. Always remember the tenses. Next, Mohan did the work. So the work was done. Did का done हो जाएगा. Do, did, done. Done by Mohan. This is how the changes takes place when we change an active voice into passive voice. So now over here in this exercise question number 4, what you have to do? You have to now do the reverse action. That is, you have to change the passive into active. See, first one, history is taught by Mr. Munshi. So over here, the answer would be like Mr. Munshi is taught would change into teaches history. Mr. Munshi teaches history. Let us take the next sentence. The prisoner was set free by the guard. So the guard set the prisoner free. Okay. So this is how you have to do the changes. So do the rest of the sentences by your own. Now take a look at the following sentences over here. The children gave flowers to the teachers. Okay, so to change it into passive voice, there are two possibilities. अगर हम इसको passive voice में change करेंगे तो दो तरीके से changes होंगे. कैसे? Flowers were given by the children to the teacher. Okay, or the teachers were given flowers by the children. There are two possibilities. Why? Because we have two objects over here. That is why there is the possibility of formation of two passive voice. John told a story to Emily. So Emily was told a story by John, या फिर a story was told to Emily by John. Okay, so this is how the changes takes place In fifth exercise, this is the same thing which you have to do. Change the following sentences from active to passive voice in the two ways as shown above. Okay, so let us take the first one. My mother gave me milk. So, what can be the sentences? Milk was given to me by my mother. एक ये सेंटेंस बनेगा. नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस क्या बनेगा? I, मी यहाँ पे I में चेंज हो जाएगा, तो I was given milk by my mother. ओके, ये दो फॉर्म्स में चेंजेस हो सकते हैं. Now let us take the second one. Lord Brahma granted a boon to Prahlad. Okay, now Prahlad was granted a boon by Lord Brahma. और दूसरा सेंटेंस क्या हो सकता है इसी का? A boon was granted to Prahlad by Lord Brahma. Okay, by would always come as with Lord Brahma when you have to change it into passive voice. So try doing the rest of the three sentences by your own. Now, change the following sentences from passive to active voice. वही चीज होगी two sentences वाली, but not in all the sentences. Let's see. An award was given to Tapan by the principal. So while changing it into active voice, in this sentence there can be two possibilities. Let us see. The principal gave Tapan an award. यहाँ पे by हट जाएगा. So the principal gave Tapan an award. Or you can write, अपन को एक एक्टिव वॉइस लिख लिया, अब इसी का अपन को एक पैसिव वॉइस मिल जाएगा. एक पैसिव वॉइस बन सकता है एक्स्ट्रा इसमें हमारे पास, है ना? तो क्या बनेगा? तपन was given an award by the principal. एक एक्टिव वॉइस बन गया और एक पैसिव वॉइस बन गया, इसी का ही. ओके. Next, the rat was fed some cheese by the little boy. So, the little boy fed the rat some cheese. Okay, ये एक एक्टिव वॉइस बन गया. Next, इसी का the little boy fed some cheese to the rat. Next, the poor were gifted clothes by the rich lady. So the rich lady gifted clothes to the poor. Next, the judgment was announced to the thieves by the judge. The judge announced his judgment to the thieves. इसमें एक ही है. Each participant was asked questions by the committee. So the committee asked questions to each participant. Okay. Now, questions can also be converted from passive to active voice. See how? Who broke this window? This is an active voice. So by whom was the window broken? By whom was the window broken? मतलब यहाँ पे जो हमारा verb broke है, it changed into broken. Next, see next example. Do you know this gentleman? Is this gentleman known by you or known to you? Okay, this is how the conversion takes place when we come to the questions. So see, change the following questions into passive voice. What did he tell you? So इसमें दो आंसर्स की पॉसिबिलिटी है व्हेन यू चेंज इट इनटू पैसिव वॉइस. द फर्स्ट कैन बी व्हाट वाज टोल्ड बाय हिम टू यू. क्या पैसिव वॉइस बन सकता है? व्हाट वाज टोल्ड बाय हिम टू यू. एंड नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस पॉसिबिलिटी इज व्हाट वाज टोल्ड टू यू बाय हिम. बाय हिम हमेशा लगेगा पैसिव में इसमें, है ना. नाउ कम टू बी. वेयर डिड यू बाय दिस ड्रेस? सो देयर इज ओनली वन पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ पैसिव वॉइस. फ्रॉम वेयर वॉज दिस ड्रेस bought? Okay, now come to see. Who teaches you English? So the change into passive voice would be by whom is English taught to you? Okay, or you can write by whom are you taught English? And now two are remaining, so this is to be solved by you yourself for practice. Now some active voice sentences do not have a subject. कुछ ऐसे active voices रहती हैं जिसमें subject नहीं होता है. Okay, see for example, put some sugar in the tea. So over here you can see that this is an imperative sentence. ये एक imperative sentence है. That means it is a simple statement. इंस्ट्रक्शन बोल सकते हैं या ऑर्डर बोल, सॉरी, इट इज नॉट अ सिंपल स्टेटमेंट, इट इज एन ऑर्डर. सो पुट सम शुगर इन द टी इज एन एक्टिव वॉइस. इफ यू वांट टू चेंज इट इनटू पैसिव, इट वुड चेंज एज लेट सम शुगर बी पुट इन द टी. सी द नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल, शट द डोर. What would be the conversion then? Let the door be shut by you. So in these sentences you can see, as for the first example, put some sugar in the tea. Over here in this sentence the verb is put and there is no subject before it. So it is an imperative sentence. So in these kind of sentences what you have to do, the passive sentence begins with the word let. Okay, so let us do the exercise, which is exercise number 8. Give your books. So let से start करेंगे. Let your books be given. Let your books be given. Okay, B का भी placement हो जाएगा. Next, speak the truth. So let the truth be spoken. Speak का spoken V3 form. Place your books on top of the pile. So let your books be placed on top of the pile. Next, do not tease your brother. Let your brother not be teased by you. Next, lower the boat. Let the boat be lowered. Okay, this is how you will change when you will change the imperative sentence into passive voice. You have to begin the sentence with let and there will be used of be. Now come to the last exercise, which is exercise number 9, wherein you have to convert active voice into passive voice. So let us take the first sentence. This dress must not be washed. So what would be the change then? You must not wash this dress. Now you will be thinking that हमने यहाँ पे by नहीं लगाया है, but you can see that you must not wash this dress. This dress must not be washed is in passive. Next, the milkman brings the milk to my door. So passive voice would be milk is brought to my door by the milkman. See, the postman clears this box 3 times a day. अब यहाँ पे दो possibilities हैं for the passive voice. The first possibility is this box is cleared 3 times a day by the postman, or this box is cleared by the postman 3 times a day. So this is how you have to solve, and as I have already given you 3 examples for the conversion, and in the earlier exercises also I have explained. So rest of the sentences to be solved by yourself and try to solve them by your own. Okay, and if you face any problem you can ask in doubt clearing session. Thank you.